Shifting gears now to perhaps one of the most notorious forms of severe weather, tornadoes.
While we associate tornadoes with our neighboring states to the south, they are just as capable of happening right here as anywhere else across the central United States. It was the night of December 15th, 2021, that the small town of Rudd was struck by a tornado. This twister, rated an EF1 by the National Weather Service, tore through the center of town in just minutes, leaving a path of damage behind it. For volunteer firefighter Tyler Hicks, this was truly a surreal experience in more ways than one.
It's not very often you get a tornado in the middle of December, and it was forecasted to freeze the next couple of days. So you had to really get to work and clean up all of this stuff. Otherwise, it was just going to end up sitting there all winter.
In fact, Tyler not only witnessed the damage firsthand, he was out in the tornado itself.
I opened the door to it and found out that you had to hold down a button to keep the siren running instead of just an on-off switch. So I pushed and held down the button and couldn't hardly see anymore. Rain was beating against my glasses. I just couldn't see. I know rain was blowing sideways, and all of a sudden I had my hand out and I'm holding down the button and I hear the siren start winding down, and I reach out and I don't feel the button anymore.
We asked Tyler what made him stand in the whirlwind for as long as he did. His answer:
I'm just doing my job, man. I just got to keep people safe. It's my job as a volunteer firefighter to sound the alarm and do that kind of stuff when it's needed. So it's just all part of the job.
Since the tornado, the town of Rudd has done a lot of rebuilding, including a new library, a new historical museum where a church once stood, and a new playground. But Tyler still recounts a key message from that night.
Never really thought that this kind of thing would happen to our small town or where I lived. It always happened somewhere else. It's not going to happen to us. But ever since that day now, I just kind of keep a closer eye on it. I try to be really aware of what's going on.
From a climatological perspective, the month of June is the most common month for tornadoes across both Minnesota and Iowa, with 46 tornadoes taking place in Minnesota and 48 tornadoes taking place in Iowa on average every year. If you find yourself in a tornado warning, the National Weather Service says there is one main thing you should do.
The number one thing we want folks to take away when it comes to tornadoes is you want to get below ground if at all possible. The number one threat with tornadoes is not so much the actual tornado itself swirling around, but it's the debris that it's swirling around, and that can be deadly if you're caught out in the open.
Collectively, there are multiple things you can do to keep yourself, your family, and pets safe during a tornado, such as seeking shelter in a low interior room, wearing helmets to protect your head, and pre-prepare by stocking a supply of bottled water, non-perishable food, flashlights, and have a way to receive weather warnings.